Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talk About House. I'm Todd.
I'm Juana.
As you can see, Juana is wearing a lovely outfit. Is that from a specific designer, or is that just it? Probably too much free marketing for the whoever made the dress, right?
Okay, so it is from Dillard's,
Dillard's.
and it is.
Is that French?
And it is an Antonio Melani dress.
Oh wow, that sounds super fancy.
It does. It sounds super fancy.
Well, I'm wearing some Levi's.
Oh no, they are Levi Strauss.
Levi Strauss. They come from San Francisco. That's where Levi.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that Levi Strauss was founded in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. They made jeans for coal miners.
That's right.
Yeah, they were interesting.
For
okay.
Gold miner, not coal miners.
Gold miners.
Yes, gold.
Not coal miners.
Yes,
They
gold.
don't mine coal. That's West Virginia.
Exactly.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about foreclosures because I was inspired because I've had a couple different people reach out to me via comments and things like that Nevada led the nation in August in foreclosures.
Well, because we're leaders, that's why.
Because we're leaders. And so I went and pulled the data, same article basically. And it's interesting how you can read a headline and then form an opinion, okay? So here's the quote from the article. U.S. foreclosure activity sees uplift in August 2023. Juana, when it says it sees an uplift, what does that make you think? Like, what are you thinking about foreclosure activity if it's an uplift? What does that mean exactly?
Well, it means that foreclosures are disappearing because that's very uplifting.
It's very uplifting, right?
Yes.
The thing is, it makes you feel like foreclosures are increasing.
Not me.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's do this.
Look, I'm not half empty. I'm half full. So There you go.
Let's go through this. Okay, this is the article. It's from Atom. We've used Atom in their data before. They're really good. They do focus on a lot of things, but foreclosures are one of the things they really have dialed in. They probably have the best data of anybody. Okay. A leading curator of land, property, and real estate data today released its August 2023 U.S. foreclosure market report, which shows there were a total of 33,952 U.S. properties with foreclosure filings. We're going to talk about what that means because it may not be what you think it means. Default, and then it defines default notices, scheduled auctions, or bank repossessions. Up 7% from a month ago, but down 2% from a year ago. So there's actually less foreclosures, the same or less, than there were a year ago.
Right. So we have to assume that over the course of the past year, there have been more homes built.
Okay.
So if there were more homes built over the course of the past year and foreclosures are down a couple percentage points, then you also have to assume that they're actually, when you're comparing apples to apples, they're actually down even more than that, right? Because we have more homes in the pool.
Okay, we've got some actual data here that's going to put this in perspective. Because right now, when I first saw the data, I thought, oh my God, this is going to be, because we got the actual numbers we're going to go through. The interesting thing about this, Juana, is this. When foreclosure filings, what is a foreclosure filing? Because I think people feel like if you go to court, you file in court. Like you file and then there's a resolution at the end. Like we're filing for the foreclosure and 2 weeks later we'll be in front of the judge and that house is going to be foreclosed, right?
Okay, so that's a really good point, Todd, because I think that they're kind of mixing everything together when they're saying filings, right?
Right.
I think they're mixing in notice of default, their mediation notices, trustee sale notices, actual foreclosure actions. I think they're kind of putting everything together into one thing. And that makes the number seem much larger than it actually is. So let me give you an example.
Okay.
Let's say that there were 12 foreclosure filings, because I like that number. Okay. So there were, and by foreclosure filings, I mean notice of default. So that's somebody just being late, right? So there were 12 of them. Then what happens is at the next step, there will only be 6 because 6 of them will have been resolved. And then the next step, in Nevada is probably mediation. So Out of the 6, 3 of those will be resolved. So those are off the table.
Okay.
So then the next step.
Now we're down to 3.
They're down to 3. You kind of see where this is going. So by the time we get all
Notice
that,
the trustee sale.
Notice the trustee sale. So by the time we get done with the process, out of the 12, at most 1 will get foreclosed.
Okay, so what they've done is they've played a game here with the total counting the notice of defaults. Now, the reason why Nevada is first, we're going to go into actual numbers here in a second. In Nevada is the easiest state currently to file notice of default. All you have to do is be 90 days late, and you can file notice of default. And it's just a filing. You just go in and file it. You just go in and you just say, hey, I'm the lien holder and I'm filing a notice of default. It's literally almost a nothing. Let's go and look at some of these numbers here. Okay, Nevada, Illinois, and South Carolina post highest foreclosure rates. Nationwide, 1 in every 4,113 housing units had a foreclosure filing in August 2023. States with the highest foreclosure rates were Nevada, 1 in every 2244 housing units, Illinois, South Carolina, New Jersey, and Delaware. Okay, now we know in Las Vegas, now let's put this in perspective a different way. Nevada was 1 in every 2,224 housing units. There's about 1.4 million houses in the state of Nevada. So as a percentage, this is an extremely small percentage. It's like 0.2%, right? But like you said, Juan, only 1 in 12 of these actually ends up in a foreclosure because of the thing. The other thing we know is this. This number is less than last year. It's down 2%. It's down a little bit from last year. And we were number 1 last year, too. We had the highest rate.
So again, adjusted for the increase in the housing stock, that's even less.
Okay. We know in Las Vegas, because we just did a video, I think a week ago, where we talked about this. In the last year, in the city of Las Vegas, there were 150 total actual foreclosures. The actual numbers of foreclosures that actually happened was only 150. So you get thrown this number because of the notice of default. Now, Wanda, imagine this. You are late on your mortgage for whatever reason, and the bank files a notice of default. What are some things you can expect as the person who is the homeowner that is in default now?
Right. So even before they ever filed a notice of default, they would have reached out to you. There would have been correspondence, maybe even phone calls, saying, "Hey, what's going on? You know, are you making the payment? You know, to give us an update, something along those lines." Then once the notice of default is filed, that's when things get really fun. The bank continues, or the servicer continues, to reach out to you and try to work things out. But now you also have all these investors coming out of the woodwork trying to buy your house. They're knocking on your door. They're sending you mailings. They're calling. They're texting. You know, by train, by car, by plane. You know, any way that they can reach you, because they're all trying to buy your house. You'll have an opportunity to do mediation and all these other things. So that it's a process, and it's not like this is going to catch you by surprise. You will have every opportunity to do a workout with the bank for mediation. You'll have lots of investors calling you, trying to buy your house. You might even have real estate agents trying to list your house for sale. So there are lots of points of contact to get this resolved one way or another, whether it's by working something out with a servicer or selling the property.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. So they play a game with this foreclosure filing, because people are like, this is a good analogy would be, you're doing the divorce rate. You're talking about how many people are getting divorced. And so when you say filing for divorce, but then you're including any time a couple goes to couples therapy, couples like marriage counseling, we're going to count that as a filing. That's a filing for divorce, right? But it's not. A notice of default is not for people, when you tell the average person foreclosure, they imagine the bank knocks on your door and says, "We own the house, get out." Right? They go into the court and they take over your house, and they file a lawsuit and take over the house. It's literally a nothing burger, because like Juan has said, only about 1 in 12 of these actually ends up in an actual foreclosure, meaning
right.
REO is what the term is called in the bank industry.
Right, and then
bank owned home.
And then keep in mind that nationally, It takes about 3 years to foreclose on a property. Now, Nevada is faster because Nevada is either at the very top or very bottom of things. So in Nevada, we do things a little faster, a little easier, but nationally, it's about 3 years.
Okay. Now, remember the first number they said, 1 in every 2,224 housing units with foreclosure. That was just the state of Nevada, right? Okay. Now remember, multiply that times all 50 states, because there were a lot of states that had foreclosure filings at all levels, okay? So how many actual repossessions do you think? There must have been tens of thousands, 100,000, right? With that many houses, 1 in every 2,000 or 3,000 houses, there's 140 million houses out there. I mean, there could have been, a million houses repossessed, right? Here we go. Here's the quote: foreclosure completions. Now they're calling it a foreclosure completion. Increase monthly, but decline annually. Okay, lenders repossessed. Ready for this? 3,354 houses in the entire country. So oh my God, Nevada, they have the highest foreclosure rate. Well, we're counted in this 3,354. Even if they were all in Las Vegas, it wouldn't move the needle, right? Okay. Through completed foreclosures, REO in August up from 1% from last month, but down 15% from last year. So the article in the very beginning says, oh my God, foreclosures are up. They're up. They're just like crazy. And then, but they're down 15% from the same month last year. And remember, we do year-over-year comparisons of real estate because of seasonal changes. We don't generally talk about month over month, right? Okay, here we go. The states that had the most number of REOs, which is defined as a lender repossessed property, okay? Illinois, 324. That was the most. That means
324 homes.
In the whole month of August, for the entire state, okay? All right, that's Illinois. And then the next was Pennsylvania, 253. Ohio's 250, New York's 205, and Texas, 191. Nevada's way, way less. But remember, we're a small state, so percentage-wise, we were more. But when you get down to the actual number of REOs, remember, we only have 150 a year. So we probably had 15 or 12 or some random small number. Because if Texas only has 191, Texas is like 20 times the population of, well, not 20 times. Texas is a much larger state population-wise than Nevada is. So they scared you into like the rampant foreclosures that were coming. And Texas was the fifth largest state with only 191. Trust me, if 191 houses appeared in a month in Vegas, no one would even know. We're a market that sells 40,000 houses a year, and we clearly didn't have, and we know the numbers. There were 150 was the last number for the last 12 months, and it's actually less that was. So the problem with this is this, Juana. When you look at percentages, the reason why they're talking about percentages is because the numbers are so small. So any change is going to look like a big percentage change.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, if you had one foreclosure one month and two foreclosures the next month, then that's a massive percentage increase, right?
Foreclosure activity doubles.
Right.
Went from 1 a month to 2 a month. The other thing is, I want you to think about it this way too. Okay, Nevada had 1 in every 2,224 housing units with a foreclosure filing. We've already determined that that's not very many, but remember, in a day, there's 30 days in a month, so we're up to like 70,000 houses. So basically 1 in every 70,000 houses. You could literally, like, how long would it take you to drive by 70,000 houses in your car? You could literally drive all day through neighborhoods all over Las Vegas and probably not even drive by a house that had an NOD filing.
Right.
And remember, only 1 in 12 houses actually ends up at a foreclosure sale. We have the lowest number of foreclosures we've ever had. So these articles are, I get why they put the articles out, but they're meaningless because the level of foreclosures is basically none. And why is that, Juana? Why aren't there, it's just like the person who in the comments on the thing, oh my God, Todd, Nevada's #1 in foreclosures. You got that most foreclosures. Well, it's a percentage because we're a small state.
Right. So look, I mean, we are in this environment where people can afford their payments. This is a good thing. So the people that are beating the foreclosure drums, first of all, that's deceiving. And second of all, I just think it's kind of morbid that people want that. I mean, don't we all want for people to be safe and comfortable and happy and make their mortgage payments and have good lives? I mean, as an investor, yes, I agree with you that I would like to purchase properties, and I would like to purchase properties and get a good deal, but not necessarily at the expense of someone in that situation. I mean, those things happen, and that's just part of life. So I just think that people just like bad news, and people like to put out things that that draw attention, and negative things draw attention.
I'm going to put this in a better perspective. Let's say for grins, it doesn't show anything outside the top 5, but we know Nevada is a much smaller state. Illinois was listed in the list is basically about the same rate. They were second. They were within a couple housing units the same. The population of Illinois is about 15 times the population of Nevada, okay? I think. So if you divide the number of REOs in Illinois by 15, even if you only divide it by 10, okay? Let's say it was a booming month and it was 1/10, okay? That means Nevada had 32. 32 actual lender repossessions in the entire state. 1.4 million housing units in the entire state. 32. You have better odds of winning the lottery as to picking which one of the 32. I challenge you to drive around anywhere in Nevada and go find a bank-owned sign that says foreclosure. Because in 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, you found them everywhere. We know because we had, at any given time, 600, 700 of them with our company name and bank-owned foreclosure. Matter of fact, we actually had banks that required us to remember that? They made us have a bank-owned foreclosure sign on the house. They wanted everyone to know because they felt that marketing was good because it would entice people to go buy it, right?
Right. So what's going on in your market? Are you seeing foreclosures? Are you seeing notice of defaults? Are you seeing people having trouble making payments? Are you seeing a stable market where people are comfortable, they're making their payments, and life is good? What are you seeing, and where are you watching from? Please leave us comments and let us know what's going on. We appreciate them. Remember to like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the video, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Bye.